Prince Telecommunications.
Months and years ahead, we should be ready to make hard choices and take tall decisions that are imperative for the prosperity and welfare of our people. Our promise of prosperity for all Deltans is not a catchphrase or a campaign rhetoric. It is predicated on the fundamental premise that we will succeed as a government when our people succeed. As for me, I promise to govern our people with respect and the fear of God.
Make you do your work, make I do my work. If we do our work, we no go get much talk. Our life go better, tomorrow go better. Our children go.
About 1.25 decades ago, Delta State, one of Nigeria's largest oil-producing and frontline states, was created after much agitation and aspiration of a people bounded by a rich cultural heritage and affinity. Referred to as the five fingers of the hand, which symbolizes unity in diversity, the peaceful cohabitation of the Urhobos and Iomas, Ishikiris, Ijaws and Isokos no doubt forms the foundation on which the Delta Project has thrived since its creation. Little wonder the powers of the state and our people are celebrated in all spheres of our national life, be it business, politics, sports, entertainment, education, etc.
Governor, do your work. Do your work. President, do your work. Do your work. Senator, do your work. Do your work. Everybody, do your work. Do your work. Police, do your work. Do your work. Doctor, do your work. Do your work. Engineer, do your work. Do your work. Pharmacist, do your work. Do your work. If you do your work, myself I do my work.
From the administration of Olorogun Felix Ibru to Chief James Ibori, Dr. Emmanuel Oduara, and more recently Ifeanyi Okowa, the quality of leadership has deepened and enriched the democratic experience of the state and brought Deltans closer to the promised land. The quality of followership at different critical junctures in this path to self-actualization is worth mentioning, as Deltans have risen to the occasion to unequivocally engage the various governments in determining in clear terms what the agenda and direction for accelerated development should be. Indeed, the level of awareness and cosmopolitan outlook of the average Deltan has, in no small measure, put the state on the path of sustainable growth. Deviation from other political parties, where gubernatorial candidates emerged almost by concessions, the primaries of the People's Democratic Party was keenly contested, and Senator Okowa emerged as a party flag bearer. He went on to have a landslide victory at the gubernatorial elections. Born a little over 5.5 decades ago into the humble family of Chief Arthur Okorie Okowa, an indigene of Uwaleru in Ika North Local Government, young Ifeanyi started his education at Iroro Primary School, Uwaleru. He proceeded to the famous Edo College in the defunct Bendel State in 1970 and graduated as second best student in the higher school certificate examination. He was admitted into the prestigious University of Ibadan, Oyo State, where he studied medicine and surgery and graduated with a MBBS degree at the tender age of 22 years in 1981. And served his fatherland in the National Mandatory One-Year Youth Service Program in 1982. Ifeanyi Okowa kick-started his medical career with the Bendel State Hospital Management Board, but later went into private practice when he established the Victory Medical Center at Igbanke and opened another branch at Boji Boji Owa in Delta State. For young Okowa, his hospital was basically an outreach center for philanthropic services to his people and the community at large. Down the years, he was secretary to Ika local government area in 1991 and also became the first chairman of same council area in 1993. He served at different times as the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Commissioner for Water Resource Development, and Commissioner for Health under the Chief James Ibori-led administration. He contested the 2007 PDP gubernatorial primaries and was not successful, but was immediately appointed the secretary to the state government at the advent of Dr. Oduagan's administration. He became a senator in 2011, and in May 2015 kept a date with destiny and was sworn as the fourth elected governor of Delta State. But was the process that brought in this government credible and fair?
By the grace of God, I think compared to what happened in 2011, this election is more transparent. And by the grace of God, it was not easy. It wasn't easy at all, but we give God the glory. Victory was ours.
Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa is a grassroots mobilizer. He's loved by all, and so his sellability has no problem. You know, to us in the campaign office, we did a little bit of a push to get him through. It wasn't as difficult as previous elections were, and that was, you can see that in the result that was produced eventually.
The last election is a significant improvement on the election of 2011. For one, the election is different from all others because of the introduction of card readers, and the card reader basically is to reduce the incidence of electoral manipulations in the system that we know too well is quite common. So I think there are improvements. We are not there yet. We are still getting there. There are areas that still need to work on. The system of the card reader has to be perfected and understood by all stakeholders and political enlightenment of Nigeria. But one significant achievement of the last election is the level of political awareness of Nigerians, in the sense that they are able to distinguish between candidates and party. In other words, if candidate A is the preferred candidate and is in the wrong party, they go for candidate A. So it's an improvement, but there are still rooms for more improvements.
The electoral process of 2015 was very free and fair, smooth and calm. All the voters turned out en masse, in spite of the few shortcomings of the new device for voting. People turned out en masse, and you will find out from the results that a lot of people still wanted PDP. Delta State is a PDP state. No wonder our present governor, His Excellency, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, emerged with overwhelming votes.
Everybody has a right now to vote, unlike when they carried all the boxes in the past. People don't even look at the party any longer. They actually look at the person, the credible person, who they think that will deliver and will meet up to his words.
The election ushered us into the digital space, election-wise, and to the extent that we never had it before, and we were able to navigate through all the difficulties and got where we are today. I think it has a pass mark.
The campaign mantra of His Excellency was hinged on mouth-watering promises. No doubt, the massive support at the polls was predicated on these offerings. Or was it another way of hoodwinking Deltans into unrealistic and unrealizable promises?
If you want the Deltans to start clapping from this road, though, at least the road that can make you lead to somewhere without being stopped somewhere. Once it rains now, to come out of your house is a problem. If you can address such issues, all those little things, sky is his limit.
He has promised Deltas that prosperity has come to stay in Delta State. I represent the interests of the youth, and I will admonish His Excellency to do more for the youth. Try as much as possible to create more employment for the youth. Because as a youth, I know what the youth pass through. A lot of people are calling for employment opportunities, and I want him to create wet education, because those are the key positions that I am as a person is advising the governor to go into. In the other area of X sector, which I know our governor is a doctor, he knows what to do about it. So I'm begging His Excellency to employ and urge the youth to partner with the youth for employment.
Development should go to all the communities of Delta State. There have been over-concentration in certain areas. There is need for that spread.
I first and foremost want His Excellency to pay special attention to the power issue. The problem of power is a national problem. It's not exactly within the purview of Delta State government. But I know the government can play a supportive role in supporting the federal government in achieving this power issue we've been having in this country. Because when that problem is solved, many other problems will be solved. It will encourage entrepreneurship. It will encourage, the development and the spread of the informal sector, which is a core area that brings about development. So it is important that special attention is paid to this power issue.
After Okowa enter, so as we support them, make it enter. We want make we get light, make we get good road.
In the area of agriculture, I think we need to invest more agro-allied industries. Also, education is the key. When you educate one individual, you educated a community. So put more emphasis in education, and finally, put emphasis in foreign investment, create the enabling environment to attract foreign investment, thereby increasing industrialization and employment. Also ensuring that people pay their taxes, because there's no way you can develop without the people participating. So there must be a mechanism in place to drive the masses to participate in governance. Beyond that, we must also ensure that government trims down its expenditure. By this I mean we can reduce the size of governance.
We need light, water, we need good roads. Hungry they kill us, not working.
There are about 2 or 3 areas I think he really had to look inside. First, the areas of empowerment. Governance has been about empowerment. But what kind of empowerment is what matters? Is it empowerment of cash? Those empowerments in the past have not yielded anything tangible. That's why there's still a lot of hunger and people are still living in penury. So the government itself cannot reach down to the people in the grassroots. Like the saying that, well, we have people that are put in places, so they want to do anything, empower them, bring 222. That has not gone to the grassroots. They furnish their brothers and sisters and bring them there. So I think it has to go to the grassroots by bringing in all the group from the grassroots, because the groups touched all the members of each of the grassroots. 2, by monitoring, because when you empower people without comprehensive monitoring, you have lost it. You train them, at the end of the day you don't monitor them. It tells you that you cannot get any result, because we will still come back to the same drawing board. Every year they will say we have not been empowered. But monitor the groups, monitor the people in the grassroots. It will work for us.
Something like Songhai replicated in different senatorial zones of the state. It will help to employ people, and with what they produce, they can even be paid from them.
I think that we must look inward and start like what is happening in Lagos to generate more funds through internally generated revenue. This has to be driven. That's the only way out. And then we have to, as a person also, try to diversify our economy, like His Excellency the Governor of Delta State is thinking. Agriculture, we must go into agriculture. We must come into the period of yesteryears when Nigeria exports rubber, export palm oil, export cocoa and others, timber. So we must go back into that. Agriculture is very important. So we can generate funds outside. A mono economy is never the best, particularly what is happening today at the international level.
I think that Dr. Okowa, at this time in the history of Delta, couldn't have been a better choice because of what we have met on ground as a state. The agenda prosperity for all touches every facet of our social life. And the bottom line is to put money and food in the hands and mouths of the average Deltan, teaching them how to work, how to farm, go to school, better health care. And if you look at the SMART agenda, as it were, it encompasses every facet of our lives. And in campaigning, we're not unmindful of making promises we will not keep.
What I expect from the newly inaugurated government is provision of employment opportunities for those that have left school, those that have graduated and stay at home for many years, nothing tangible for them to do.
Democracy is a theory that the common people know what they want and deserve to get it good and hard. So says H. L. Mencken. If a veritable feature of democracy is citizen participation and robust stakeholders engagement, then the success of the Okowa administration hinges on the government's ability to listen and translate the people's aspirations into concrete developmental programs and people-centered projects with a view to bringing about sustainable growth with positive impact on the lives of Deltans.
Waiting be your agenda. Waiting be my agenda.
I would say that with the past administration, we didn't have any reason to grumble or have any setback as far as welfare is concerned. The past administration really improved as far as we are concerned on the welfare of workers in the state. But what we are expecting after non-availability of funds as far as money is concerned in the country is that the governor should look on how to go into proper training and retraining of workers in the state. So we are also talking of making sure that the issue of a 13-month salary, which is going to be an encouragement to the workers, is implemented.
The incoming governor has been a major player at the Senate. He is aware that there is a corrected commerce. It's not a new salary structure. This is a salary structure that was bedeviled by some errors which affected the take-home of doctors. Committees were set up and it was reviewed, and then the injustice was addressed through this corrected commerce. Some shortfalls were addressed. Presently, it's being applicable to federal doctors in federal centers, teaching hospitals and federal medical centers. This is one area we want the new governor to address, since he was one of those who negotiated this corrected commerce. This corrected commerce, mark my word, is not a new salary. He should implement it in the state because the federal doctors are already enjoying it, and it will be bad where you are in a state where two doctors are working, one is earning a different salary and the other one. I'm also aware that the last governor has approved it, but it's yet to be implemented.
Today, it's only teachers that will not be promoted. Teachers are really passing through difficult period. We are the least to be promoted in the state. It is only teachers that will take 3-4 years before they can earn their promotion. And when the promotion is given, it's only teachers that will not be pay their promotion arrears. It's only teachers that their welfare are not taken care of. Then go down the infrastructural development in the school, in the state. Yes, it's a good thing. The state government have renovated some schools. But how many has been renovated compared with the number of schools we have in Delta State that have not even been touched at all? Today, there are some people, students, who sit on the floor, bare floor, to write in the state. These are areas the present government should look into.
You look at the welfare packages for the rural fathers in the state, it's not on a straight platform. Some people receive more than the others, but the people outside look at us as if we're all on the same platform. So if I speak from my own perspective, I would say, well, I look forward to getting something better than what we're having now. Because the expectations are high. Early in the morning, people are lining up to say, come and give us money, because they think that we have. And that's not to say that the state should focus more on us than the other people, but what we're getting now, I think more needs to be desired.
Recently, I heard the distinguished President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, saying that top on his agenda is the PIB bill. I will use this medium to appeal to him that what should be top on his agenda should be the local government autonomy bill. You know why? Nigeria is a reflection of what is happening in the local governments. Until they get it right in the local governments, Nigeria will not get it right. No matter how much money you make at the center, every hospital, every primary healthcare center, every market, every road, every institution is in a local government. So when that local government does not function properly, it shows. And that's what we're seeing in the country today. My joy is that the current governor, who was part of the last Senate and amongst those who signed in to the constitutional amendment, as it were, and recommended that there must be autonomy at the local government, is governor of Delta State today. We have a speaker who was chairman of Sapele local government, two-time chairman. I can tell you confidently that I think that in Delta State this time around, they will say yes to autonomy.
Just like the executive is independent, the legislature is independent, so also should the judiciary be independent. Independent in terms of financial autonomy. You will remember that not too long ago there was a very long strike, over the question of independence or autonomy. I'm not saying that we're making a demand fresh. The provisions are there in the Constitution that we don't have to go cap in hand all the time asking the governor for money. And you know that if you go to a man all too often to say give me money, give me money, give me money, he's like controlling all your affairs, and it doesn't all go well. So I think His Excellency has to be made to understand that there is need, for judiciary to be financially autonomous. That is what the Nigerian Bar Association is expecting.
For the big heart, the finger of God, are people that take pride in their identity and famous with the saying, Delta know they carry last. Delta indeed deserves to soar like an eagle and position herself as a frontline state in the Nigerian polity. Hence, the Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa administration must make the right decisions and take the right steps.
The only difference I'm going to say in this government is that, yes, this government might not be doing things the way people think. So for those that are going to work with the governor, it's not going to be as business as usual. I want to assure them that in as much as you'll be first among your people in your local government to be appointed as a commissioner, you should know that things might not be the way it used to be, that you must work at this particular time.
I will encourage him to involve all stakeholders. Also, make sure you carry along those who didn't vote for you. Make sure you are now Delta State Governor, not PDP Governor. You're a focused man, you're a tested leader, and this is the time to prove it to the whole of Delta State that you can do a lot more than you did in the Senate or when you were SSG.
Most important thing is actually starting with the little, placing food on the table. Once you are able to do that and you're not begging to get your meals, I think the prosperity has come.
By the grace of God Almighty, Governor will make I'm in a group here in Asaba that prays for the government, himself in particular, that he will do better than others by his grace.
With the level of competence and political sagacity His Excellency brings to the table, it appears all odds favor the success of this administration. Deltans have set the agenda, an agenda that will come up for critical review in 4 years. Long live Delta State.
Do your work. Doctor, do your work. Do your work. Engineer, do your work. Do your work. Pharmacist, do your work. Do your work. If you do your work, myself I do my work. If we do our work, we no go get much talk. your life will go better. My life will go better. Our children go enjoy. We don't go get plenty suffer. Wetin be your agenda? Wetin be my agenda? Wetin be your own? Wetin be my own? Make you do your work so that your life will go better.